Let's talk about something a bit different. No violent action games or horror games, something totally unexpected for this channel. How about Emily is Away? Yeah, I don't think anyone will see that coming. Emily is Away isn't really a game though. There isn't gameplay or skill involved. It's more like an art project, a conversation simulator. I've seen the game classified as an indie visual novel, and I guess that's right. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure story. When you start the game, you hear the sound of an old PC booting up, and there's no menu music, just the silence of your room and the hum of the computer. Clicking Chapter 1 presents the time as the year 2002, and you have to choose a screen name for your America Online Instant Messenger account. For all you kids watching, AOL Instant Messenger was a very popular messaging application that separated the chat function from the America Online Internet browser, like MSN Messenger and others like it. 2002 puts us about 3 years before the explosion of MySpace, before Facebook, definitely no smartphones, and just the early stages of text messaging. If you're old enough to remember being a kid in these times, staring at this interface and hearing the PC noise will give you some serious flashbacks. It's actually kind of eerie. It'll awaken a part of your brain and take you back to those times, which really helps put you in the place of the character, as this is a story about falling in love in your late teens and early 20s. If you're close to that age now, you'll be able to relate to this story. And if you're older, being transported back to this time will help put you in the mindset of being that age. It's an ingenious design trick. Emily is Away recreates the instant messenger experience, complete with buddy icons and profile text. We pick a screen name. Let's go with Funboat69. And then our name. We'll go with Mayo for the sake of the video. I highly recommend using your real name to make the experience more personal. Next is the buddy icon. You couldn't have any photos on this thing, so people personalized their chat by changing the text color and setting these low pixel buddy icons, which you could find online or make yourself. It's 2002, so we've got 28 Days Later, The Ring, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Blink-182, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eminem, and Avril Lavigne. I'll go with 28 Days Later. We're thrown into the chat box with our friend Emily. She's got a Coldplay buddy icon, and we can read her profile where she has some Coldplay lyrics. We can customize our chat colors, but I think I'll just leave it on default. Our chat options are all the same, so how about a familiar hey? You can click the options or just press the corresponding number on your keyboard. You can press any key you want and it will cause a letter to appear. You can't control what is typed, you just press random keys. So if I press T randomly, all the letters will appear. Any key works, so just act like you're typing. Then we press enter to send the message. Emily says hi back. She likes our buddy icon and thinks that movie is scary. And now we're in conversation. So you're probably wondering if these dialogue choices have consequences. They do. The story can go in different directions depending on what you say. Emily asks if we like Coldplay. And well, how do we answer? I think Coldplay is alright. I think their first albums are more interesting than the rest of their stuff. I like a few songs, I guess. The Scientist is a nice song. I like Politic, which is the opening track of their second album. So I guess I'll say yes. There's also a strategy here too. Maybe I don't like Coldplay at all. Would I want to say option 1 or 3? She obviously likes them, and if I'm trying to get in good with her, maybe I should pretend to like them? It depends on how you think. What are your intentions? I suggest that you play it completely straight. Don't react in ways that you wouldn't in real life. Not on your first playthrough. What would you say to this girl if you liked her? So I'll go with option 2. Type. The typing is oddly fun. There's something satisfying about pretending to type on your keyboard and seeing the text appear in the box. Put your hands properly on the keyboard and try to get into it. Don't just mash a couple keys, pretend. Emily wants to know if we're going to the party tonight at Travis's house. If she's asking, she's probably going. Option 3 sounds a bit too eager, so I'll go with option 1. Okay, she definitely wants me to go, so I'll be there. She says it's crazy that we're already having end of school parties. I was really ready to get out of high school myself, so I'm going with 2. Hey, she feels the same way. But wait, who's this Brad guy? Brad's been messaging her and she sounds bothered by it. She should ignore him, he sounds like trouble. Hopefully that does the trick. Back off, Brad. A little more mundane conversation, she seems excited about graduating and I'm excited too, so that's what I say. Looks like she didn't get into the school she wanted and has to study somewhere else. That's too bad. She wants to know where I'm gonna study, and well, since I'm into content creation and gaming right now, I'll say art school. Type. You'll notice that sometimes we delete words. That's automatic. I'm not doing that. Our character will fix typos and even retract entire clauses when he's unsure about his words. That's some immersive stuff. Our decision to go to art school has been recorded. Oh, that's nice. Emily thinks we're talented. She says, even though we're going to different schools, do you promise you'll be there for me? Well, yeah, absolutely. Nothing could ever keep me from talking to you. You're one of my best friends. Sounds like we have a nice friendship, but is she into me romantically? These things can be really hard to decipher. She says she's waiting for Julie so they can go to the party, and I'm curious who that is. Oh, okay, Julie from math class. She wants to know if I'm going to be at the party, and that's clearly a story-influencing decision. What do we do? I want to go. We're having a nice conversation. I like this girl. She wants me to go. It's near the end of the school year. It's a big party. Who knows what kind of magic can happen? I'm in. Ugh, Brad is still messaging her. He's going to be a problem, isn't he? I hope he isn't at the party. Let's see what happens. Chapter 2, the next year. So we don't actually know what happened at the party. It's a full year later. I'm sure our decision to attend the party had ramifications on the story, but what they are is yet to be seen. It's 2003 and the Matrix sequels are stinking up the box office. We're going with Kill Bill because it's awesome. Emily enthusiastically says hi. That's a good sign that the party went well. Did something happen? How's it shaking? That sounds like me. She's just doing homework. Me? I'm playing video games. That sounds about right. Alright, we're just talking about music, and she wants to know if I like Snow Patrol. Oh man, I remember Snow Patrol. No thank you. I'll just say I don't know. She must like them a lot. We can see Snow Patrol lyrics in her profile. And there's a little line at the bottom that says, "You make me laugh even when I don't want to smile." Oh, that's nice. How am I liking art school? Well, it's fun. I've made some good friends and I'm learning a lot. She casually mentions that she'd like to visit me sometime. Is she serious? Maybe. What are my plans? Probably just hanging out with some friends. Parties are fun, but not all the time. And that was a recorded decision. Alright. I think we'll have a few drinks and hang around the house. Listen to some music. What's she doing? Brad has band practice, so I'm just hanging out in my dorm. Brad. Wait, Brad? Brad who? Oh, is that who the profile quote is from? Yeah, it's credited to B. 1. Come on, these options suck. I don't like anything here. I guess I'll just humor her with asking what he's like. I don't want to be a dick. Well, he's smart and funny and he understands me. Sometimes he can be a jerk. Wait, what? A jerk? What's that about? Oof, Emily will remember that. Yeah, I've crossed the line. Alright, I'm just gonna apologize and move on. She says she's happy and it's getting late. She asks if I need to go see my friends. No, I can stay and chat a bit longer if you want. Oh man, I am messing this up left and right. Bye. I don't want to show you the complete story. There's 5 chapters in total. But I'll say that Chapter 3 is when stuff really starts getting interesting. We talk about what happened at the party a couple years ago, Emily is having problems with Brad, there's talk of her coming to visit, there's alcohol involved, and there are some big consequences to your actions. By the end of the game, you'll probably have some feelings to deal with. It could bring up some issues that many people have when it comes to their love life. If you know where this game goes, I ask you not to spoil anything in the comments. I want people to play this. It's free on Steam, and it'll take you maybe an hour to finish it. I really recommend that you check it out. So I'm gonna get into some spoiler discussions about how the game ends now. If you're at all interested in playing Emily is Away, please turn off this video and go get it. This video will be here when you come back. There's also a sequel called Emily is Away 2 that only costs a few dollars and is also very good. So turn off this video, last chance. Alright, now we're going to discuss the ending. There's a few pivotal moments in the story, like the decision of whether or not to go to the party, if you let Emily visit you when she's upset about her breakup with Brad, what happens when and if she visits. They all influence the story, but they all lead to the same outcome. At the end, you are not with Emily and your friendship has disintegrated. If she visited you, you never made a move. Or you did and you slept together and she feels like you took advantage of her when she was vulnerable and drinking. There's several things that can happen, but none of them lead anywhere good. There are no correct answers in this game. It's not about trying to win and get the best ending, and that's what I love so much about it. In the end, it's a story about rejection and acceptance. You have to learn to let her go. You can't fix it. The final conversation is cold. If you've ever had a falling out with someone that you were romantically involved with, this conversation will feel very familiar. Trying to talk to someone who just doesn't want you in their life anymore, but they're too nice to just tell you that, so they let the conversation die slowly, it's awful. The ending of Emily is Away is what makes it so special and so impactful. And the sequel, Emily is Away 2, changes that. And I don't have a problem with it. It becomes more of a game because there are good and bad endings to achieve by picking the correct answers. It makes it something totally separate from the first game, but good in its own gamey way. There's two girls you're talking to, Emily and Evelyn, and there's player choice for who you pay attention to, and you can make them angry or happy, you can be honest or deceitful. It's fun, I played it on stream and had a great time with it. It's a much larger experience too, as all the different characters have their own fake social media pages full of hints about their personality. Sometimes a character will send you a link to a song they're listening to, and if you click it, it plays a YouTube video, usually some mid-2000s emo band, but there's some other stuff too. This has to be the most ingenious method of getting music for free that I've ever seen. Why pay for the rights to use music in your game when you can just provide links to songs on YouTube for people to listen to as they play? It gives the game a soundtrack for free. Playing Emily is Away 2 leads to many more tense moments of decision making than the original. More moments of regret, wishing you could take back your words. Early in the game, I was invested more in Evelyn because I have a lot more in common with her personality. But then, after a really long conversation with Emily, things started to change, and I decided to pay more attention to her and go down that path. Evelyn got really upset with me for ignoring her, and then in the next chapter, she has a buddy icon of Year Zero, the 2007 album from 9 Inch Nails, my favorite band. And I was devastated. I wished I could have taken it all back. So Emily is Away 2 is a more fun game, but that's just it. It's a game with winners and losers. I totally support buying it, it's just not the amazing piece of art that the first one is. I'll always recommend the first over the second. I'd like to know if the gamey multiple endings aspect of the sequel was made in response to some people not liking the fact that the first game always ended the same way. I can totally see that happening, but I think it would be sad if that were the reason. I can also see how repeating the first game would be pointless, and if you're going to make a sequel, going in the multiple ending directions is probably for the best. It's a really good sequel when taken as something apart from the first game. I don't always do this, but I'd love for the creator Kyle Seeley to reach out to me on Twitter because I want to have a conversation with him for my interview series, Profiles in Gaming Enthusiasm. Thanks for watching this video. I'm currently toying with the idea of a recorded playthrough of Emily's Away with voice acting, so check back later and maybe I'll have that up. I can't promise anything. The idea works in my head, but I have to see how to execute it. Like and subscribe, and later everyone.